Good evening, vinyl community. How are you? Hello, hi. It's Rob back for another video. Yeah, I was getting into a real kind of hiatus again, and I was, getting to this kind of point where I was thinking, oh shit, I'm done video for ages. I'm not, as you've probably seen, the most creative of people when it comes to coming up with ideas for videos. So I tend to piggyback and rely on your good selves for coming out with brainstorming, coming out with great ideas. So yeah, and this one's obviously no exception. And my good friend Richard McCooks has come to my rescue once again with a thread. I like the way he put the question mark after it, as if people aren't going to jump on this. I mean, like spelling out your name with your favourite records. Although it is trickier than I thought. When it first came up, I thought, yeah, I can. Oh, piece of piss, I can do that. No problem at all. Yes, roll the sleeves up, get into the collection, thumb through. Oh shit, that's not. Oh, I thought that was spelled like. Oh no, I can't have that. And it was sort of went on and on and on. So yeah, it's taken me probably I'd say a good 3/4 of an hour to get these together. So yeah, most of them are favourites. If not favourite albums, they're certainly favourites by the respective artists. So. Most of them are anyway. So, but we'll run through it because it's just great fun, and why not? So, but yeah, so here we go. So, kicking off right at the top. I think I've probably showed this before. So we've got R, of course, and this is Roxy Music by Roxy Music, 1972 debut. Yeah, this is very little needs to be said about this album, really. That I can say that hasn't already been said. I mean, it's for me. It's just a groundbreaking album. They were there with Bowie. Arguably, sort of started the glam scene. But of course, you've got the wonderful combination of Brian Ferry with his kind of romanticism and stuff, and then Brian Eno with those wonderful, ethereal, weird and wacky keyboards, just giving the whole thing an otherworldly feel. And yeah, obviously his footprints are very, very much strongly embedded on this album, and of course the second one as well. But for me, the Roxy Music albums kind of they're all their early albums and their early output are great. But for me, they kind of exponentially get weaker. So this, for me, is just, yeah, this is just phenomenal. I love this. Remake, remodel, incredible. And, probably the most famous number plate that ever was. And then going into Ladytron, wonderful. There's a brilliant version of them doing that live on the Old Grey Whistle Test on YouTube, which is worth seeing if you haven't seen it. Yeah, in fact, the whole of the first side of this is just perfect. If there is something as well, just amazing, brilliant, fantastic album. Okay, so we're on to O, and this is probably my favourite electronic album of all time, and we've got Oxygen, Jean-Michel Jarre. I always thought this was his debut, but it wasn't. I think this was his third album, but this was certainly the one where he kind of took off. Released in 1976, 77, I think. But yeah, I mean, I've got a fair few sort of electronica albums and so on, but this is the one that I just go back to time and time again and just play on regular, in very heavy rotation, because it's just superb. You put this off and this takes you places. It really does. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Love that record. Okay, now B. Now this was interesting, Richard, because you said that you wanted to show uh, Bridge Over Troubled Water because it's your favourite your favourite Simon and Garfunkel album. So there you go. But it's not my favourite Simon and Garfunkel album, so I'm not gonna pick that one. I'm gonna pick this one, which was the one that preceded it, which is Bookends. And yeah, this for me is was the summit of their creativity together. I think Paul Simon still rates this as his favourite, certainly of the Simon and Garfunkel output anyway. But this is brilliant. I mean, this just flows so well as an album. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's sort of almost an album about sort of getting older and aging, but on some levels, certainly with the Bookends theme and Voices of Old People, and you've got I think. Art Garfunkel went into an old people's home, and sort of got, interviewed and took tapes of people talking about sort of periods of their life and so on. And it's very, very poignant. But yeah, I mean, this has got arguably my favourite songs of theirs on it. I mean, it starts off with Bookends theme. In the Say the Life of My Child, which I think was a true story of somebody trying to commit suicide. Wonderful opener, and then into the segues into the superb America, which is arguably my favourite song of theirs. Just wonderful, wonderful, beautiful song. Overs, fantastic. Old Friends, and the Bookends theme, which again is very, very poignant. Second side, Faking It, got great sort of rockers, upbeat ones on here. Punky's Dilemma is kind of quite witty. Obviously the classic Mrs. Robinson. Hazy Shade of Winter, of course, which the Bangles did a fantastic cover of as well. And then ending with The Fun at the Zoo. So yeah, all in all, a wonderful, brilliantly conceived album. Okay, so that's B. Then we go to E. We've got hands down my favourite Rod album. Every Picture Tells a Story. Yeah, this is just superb. The title track is just fantastic. What a way to kick off. Seems Like a Long Time. It's great. Stretches vocals there. That's All Right. Really good old blues number. Tomorrow's a Long Time, the Dylan song, and then the second side 2 is just absolutely just perfect. It's a perfect side. You got Maggie May, brilliant. Mandolin Wind, probably my favourite. Wonderful stomping on No I'm Losing You, where he just absolutely just lets rip on that. That's just incredible. And then the wonderful, arguably my favourite track on the album, Tim Hardin's Reason to Believe. Superb. Yep. Okay. So then we've got R again, and we've got probably my favourite compilation ever. This is Relics, Pink Floyd, of course. Yeah, I mean, all a great. Really gives a good cross section of their early work here. Starts off with Davey Singer on Arnold Lane, goes into the Interstellar Overdrive from Piper, and then the next 3 songs are just amazing. Single See Emily Play, love the Bowie version of that off Pin-Ups as well. Remember a Day, wonderful Richard Wright song, really psychedelic, wonderful. And Paintbox, yet another Richard Wright song. Brilliant, probably 2 of the best songs he ever wrote for the band. Side 2, Julia Dream, very sort of ethereal one there from Waters. Obviously, Careful with That Axe, Gene, was wonderful on the Pompeii video that they did. Cirrus Minor and the Nile song, which I think were off More, Biding My Time, and then ending up with the very silly but very, very wonderful childlike Bike of Sid's, finishing off a fantastic compilation. Okay, and then T, got, yeah, brilliant, wonderful. I had to get a Tull album in somewhere, didn't I? Thick as a Brick. This is just a wonderfully conceived album of Ian Anderson's, talking about this lad who's kind of being disqualified from a writing competition. And I dare say that was probably the brainchild of where he got the original seed of the idea. And then it just kind of turned into the whole newspaper concept and idea. I know he did this as a sign of kind of, as a kind of reply to Aqualung, because everybody was saying that that was a concept album, and he obviously never thought that it was. So he obviously took the piss and went out on a limb and did a out and out concept album. So yeah, I mean, this is probably Tull at their most proggy, but very, very creative musically. Wonderful. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, then we go to I. That's my favourite Beat album. This is the debut. I just can't stop it. This is just superb from beginning to end. Kicks off with Mirror in the Bathroom. Hands Off She's Mine, superb. Two Swords, Twist and Crawl. And then side 2, you got Wine and Grind. Stand Down Margaret is wonderful. Can't Get Used to Losing You is superb. That was released later as a single. Probably my favourite one of theirs, Best Friend. Love that song. And Jackpot to end with. Superb, superb album. Okay, then we're going on to so S, and we've got incredible Something Anything, double album from Todd Rundgren. I think by anybody's standards, this is a creative record. This 1972 double album. The singles, I Saw the Light on it, but wouldn't have made any difference, is wonderful as well. Beautiful ballad. And just the creativity on this album is just amazing. The styles and genres that he covers. I mean, there's even bits where he's sort of talking about, you know, production techniques and stuff on it and all the rest of it. And yeah, superb. The follow-up to this as well, Wizard True Star, is probably equally as good as well. Superb stuff. Okay, and then we're on to O again. And this is Police's debut, Outlanders to More. James Griffiths did an interesting video the other night on a record that you'd have expected him to have, but he didn't have in his collection. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful album. I have great memories of my sister playing this when I was younger. I always loved it. And she'd play this in very, very heavy rotation. Obviously, the great singles, So Lonely, Roxanne, Can't Get Used to Losing, Can't Stand Losing You, superb. And I think, wasn't that famously, I don't know, Richard McCooks will probably put me right on this, but I think, wasn't that one that kept Can't Stand Losing You, didn't that keep what was his name, the guy Shut Up Your Face, what was his name, Joe Dolce, from getting to number 1, and I think that only got to number 2. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I seem to remember that could have been the case. I don't know, I may be wrong there, but yeah, Born in the 50s, fantastic. Be My Girl and Sally from Andy Summers always turns in those kind of humorous sort of songs. yeah, I mean, it's just the funniest song ever about a blow-up doll, basically, that you're ever going to hear. Wonderful, wonderful humour, ending with the great instrumental Masoko Tango. Superb. Okay, and then N to finish off. Definitely one of my favourite Nilsson albums. This is Nilsson Schmilsson from 1972. Yeah, great. That kicks off with Gotta Get Out, which is one of my favourite songs, and what a fantastic upbeat way to kick off an album. Early in the Morning's great. The wonderful ethereal Moonbeam song is superb. Starts off side 2 with the classic Peter Ham song from Badfinger, obviously, Without You, monster hit for Nilsson. Coconut, of course, made famous by the closing credits on Reservoir Dogs. Superb. Jump Into the Fire, I'll Never Let... Yeah, really, really great album. Son of Schmilsson, the one that came after this, sadly wasn't as good as this, but yeah, great stuff. So wonderful idea for a video again, Richard. I hope people jump on this as well. I'm sure they will, because it's especially with people with vast record collections out there, I'm sure they can do this easily. So until next time, guys, keep cool, because it is a bit warm here, particularly in the UK at the moment. 30 degrees. I think it's they said on the news it was the highest UV levels ever, or something ridiculous like that. So yeah, keep safe and keep out the sun. Well, I think we're gonna have thunderstorms later anyway, so hopefully it'll cool everything down. But all the best for the coming weekend as well, and until next time, bye bye.